creature is not gifted, but chosen. I did but strip thee of thy mistress's feeble blessing.
The hero returns. I cannot thank you enough for saving young Halalone's life. Aye, he told me everything. I've also received letters from both House Zemail and Durandare praising your conduct, and that of House Forton. You've won us much honor, my friend.
My lord!
What is it? Speak.
Pray forgive the intrusion, my lord, but I bring grave tidings. Master Alphino and Mistress Tataru have been detained on suspicion of fomenting heresy.
What? Explain.
They were observed entering a tavern in the lower levels on some half-dozen occasions. There, it is claimed, they made a number of inquiries. Inquiries which brought them into contact with certain, elements. 'Twas this which prompted a Knight of the Heavens Ward to demand that they be questioned. Sir Grinno, my lord.
Sir Grinno is a brute. An exceedingly accomplished brute, but a brute nonetheless. Alas, he is also a son of House Zemail. How quickly we forget the petty nature of men. I'd wager your friends are no more than pawns in another of my countrymen's games. Such is the way of things between the high houses.
We are gathered here today under the watchful gaze of the Fury to ascertain the guilt of 2 souls in a trial by combat. Petitioners, step forward. Sir Grinno, for the benefit of all here present, I would ask you to repeat the charges which you have leveled against this man and this woman.
I, Sir Grinno de Zemail, brother of the Heavens Ward, did bear witness to these 2 foreigners consorting with heretics.
Let the accused step forward. Alphino Leveilleur, Tataru, you have heard the charges leveled against you. Will you take up arms to refute Sir Grinno's claim, and thereby prove your innocence in the eyes of gods and men?
I, Alphino Leveilleur, am innocent of this charge, and claim my right to trial by combat.
I, Tataru, am innocent of this charge. But I am no warrior and cannot fight. So, I claim the right to name a champion.
To the old and the infirm, the young and the weak, this right we allow. Very well. Who will stand for this woman?
Just as I was beginning to doubt the efficacy of the Ishgardian justice system. Come, my friend. Let us put an end to this mummer's farce.
Render unto us your judgment. Raise up the righteous, and cast down the wicked.
Your Eminence, it is my honor to present to you the Warrior of Light.
I have heard the tales of your many grand endeavors. The Lord Commander has also been most effusive in his praise. I am Thordan VII, Archbishop of the Ishgardian Orthodox Church, and I bade you come here that I might offer my personal apologies. You will forgive me for not calling upon you as courtesy would dictate. But, as you can see, my more sprightly days are long behind me. But I digress. Your companions were wrongly accused of heresy and subjected to gross indignities. This, I am sorry to say, was the result of negligence on the part of our nation's protectors. Negligence born of an excess of zeal. Is that not so, Sir Zephyrin?
Yes, Your Eminence. Regrettably, it would appear that we of the Heavens Ward were in receipt of erroneous information. Sir Grinno has ever been headstrong. He pressed charges before the truth had been ascertained, for which I most sincerely apologize.
An unfortunate misunderstanding born of an earnest desire to serve Ishgard, but one which should never have occurred. For who could doubt the character of those who bested Shiva and drove the Horde from the steps of faith? Not I. That much is certain. That will be all, Sir Zephyrin. I would speak with our guest in private.
Your Eminence, As you wish, Your Eminence. That will be all for today.
Privacy is a luxury rarely afforded one in my position. Now tell me, young lady, what do you know of the Ascians? Much and more, I shouldn't wonder, being the bringer of light. You should know that I myself have met with them, have entertained them as guests, even. Those harbingers of chaos and strife offered us power that we might continue our war against the dragons. I have no intention of aiding their cause, of course, nor less of being their puppet. Yet, were I to refuse them outright, I should learn naught of their true objectives and remain powerless to stop them. Thus have I hearkened to their words with interest and paid lip service to their beliefs, biding my time and preparing for the inevitable conflict. And why do I tell you this? Because there is naught in this world they fear more than the power of the Warrior of Light. If we are to rid ourselves of these vile interlopers, we must needs work together. With our combined strength, I have faith that we can wrest Eorzea from their grasp and pave the way for a lasting peace. Think on it. Such commotion.
Yes, Your Eminence. The bells of the Observatorium warn of our enemy's approach.
So, the dragons are coming. Let them come, in their hundreds and their thousands. With the divine blade in our hands, we shall rend their flesh and drown the heretics in their master's blood. Even Nidhogg and his foul brood shall be powerless to resist us. And when we have rid the world of their pestilence, we shall turn our attention to our Ascian allies. See that they are suitably rewarded for their invaluable assistance.
If I may, Your Eminence, the Paragons wield powers strange and unknowable. Can we be certain that they will not see through our deception?
We can be certain of naught save the righteousness of our cause. If you would be a true leader of men, you must possess conviction as well as caution. We seek to excise the root of an evil that has blighted us for 1,000 years. The risk is worth the reward.
And what of Estinian and this Warrior of Light? They have plans of their own.
Leave them to their purpose. We must each play the role we have been given. You and your chosen brothers most of all.
For the glory of King Thordan.
A small army of heretics has invaded the city, Your Eminence. But there is no cause for concern. A sizable contingent of our soldiers is already in place to repel the Dravanian assault. And the intruders will soon find themselves outnumbered and outmatched.
Our plans proceed apace, then?
Yes, Your Eminence. This unrest shall serve to feed the people's fear of the heretics and the dragons both.
And lend renewed fervor to their prayers for deliverance. Very good. Grant our guests what time they need to sow a measure of chaos, then order the Temple Knights to crush them.
Your will be done.
The moment is at hand. Excellent. All shall soon be in alignment. It is time for the Bringer of Light to die.
The endless cycle of violence between man and dragon was born of our forefathers' treachery. You have followed me, bled with me, to bring this truth to light that we might all know peace. But Nidhogg is dead. Nidhogg is dead, my friends! He who bore such hatred towards Ishgard is dead! Let his hatred die with him, I say! Let us sheathe our swords and go in peace!
Have we lost?
No, my friend! Far from it! At long last, the peace for which we have so desperately fought is within our grasp. And I, for one, would not forsake it! Peace?
Seize the witch! Let none escape!
Providing aid and succor to the wounded should be our first concern. If the heretics mean to observe the peace, then it would be folly not to do the same.
They are ours, Lord Eldrath. The eyes of Nidhogg.
Aye. The worm lies broken and my father is avenged. With the wellspring of his vitality thus denied him, Nidhogg shall not linger long in this world. But behold the terrible price we have paid. My sire is dead. So many brother knights slain. We traded our honor for the strength which now courses in our veins. And still we are forced to make such sacrifice.
But not in vain, my lord. Hraesvelgr is the only great worm left in Dravania, and he dares not leave his lair. With Nidhogg's eyes in your possession, who now can challenge the might of Ishgard, ascend the throne, and take your rightful place as the ruler of our people?
Nay, my friend. I must forsake the mantle of king. Though Nidhogg be defeated, his wormling horde yet darkens the skies with wings beyond counting. As one who partook of Ratatoska's strength, it shall be my penance to bear a knight's arms until death grants me leave to retire. When that day comes, no prince shall perish, but a hell's-bound hunter of dragons.
But Lord Haldreth, what then shall become of the royal line?
Think of your people, my lord. Without a king, who will the common man turn to in his hour of need? How will he find his way without your benevolent hand to guide him?
I thank you, Sir Flavian and Sir Silvertrill, for dispelling my remaining doubts. With men of such wisdom and compassion in service to the realm, 'tis plain that Ishgard has no need of a king. But if you must bow to the demands of tradition, you need look no further than yourselves for one worthy to wear the crown. Fare thee well, my brother knights, my loyal friends. On these shoulders shall I bear the weight of my father's sins. With this lance shall I repay the debt accrued through our misdeeds.
What cruel jest has fate played upon us? Have we seized this desperate victory, only to lose a king?
We can but act as our lord has bid. We few who remain must divide between us the rulership of Ishgard and her people.
Not I. My oath was to Lord Haldreth, and he alone. If he is not to be king, then I would hang up my shield as well.
Will you abandon us too, sir?
I would wash my hands of blood and betrayal, and take up an honest trade. Mayhap I shall serve ale instead of sharpened steel.
We four, then.
Fortin, Hylanat, Dyrendare, and Zemail. But 4 houses to rule all of Ishgard.
And what of the throne?
We keep it empty. Until the day a king rises once more, we must assume the role of stewards. We shall shape our nation anew with a history of our own making, and let the truth of this dark day die here, upon the battlefield.
The founding. The scriptures, 1,000 years of lies, all to deceive the common man. Nay, our own brothers and sisters.
For the blood of the Knights 12 flows within all our veins. You knew this to be true. You knew, and you concealed it.
I should be interested to hear how you came by this knowledge. But yes, you have the right of it. The architects of Ishgard, King Thordan and his Knights 12, entrapped and butchered the great worm, Ratatoskr, that they might partake of her eyes and thereby transcend their mortal limits. Upon learning of their treachery, Nidhogg was consumed with a murderous and justified rage. I dare say you know what followed.
The great worm slew the king and half of his knights.
Aye, but Nidhogg was subdued, and his eyes plucked from their sockets by the knights that remained. Their one mistake was to show mercy. For from his brother Hreysvelgr did Nidhogg receive a new eye, thus rejuvenating his form and empowering him to embark upon an eternal quest for vengeance.
Whilst Thordan's son Haldreth took one of Nidhogg's eyes and learned to wield its power in defense of his people.
Thus was the first Azure Dragoon born, and ever since that time, his honored successors have risen to drive Nidhogg from our lands whenever the worm has returned to plague us. I ask you, my son, will you answer for my sins? Will your son and his son answer for me as well?
What do you mean?
If a man cannot atone for his sins in the course of his all-too-fleeting life, must his progeny then be held to account? Must every subsequent generation be judged as well? Thordan's betrayal of Ratatoskr was an unconscionable, unforgivable sin. Should we then, as his descendants, meekly surrender ourselves to an eternity of punishment? Nay, say I. I would not see our children sacrificed in a vain attempt to appease an implacable foe. Dragons are not like us, my son. To they who live forever, the wrongs of antiquity are as those of yesterday. No reparations shall ever suffice. This fact alone should serve as ample justification for our actions. Yet some refuse to see it as such. For men like you, who yearn to commit themselves to a nobler cause, a more compelling narrative is required.
This is your solution. This is how you protect our people. You have given us a lost cause, a death sentence. With your compelling narrative, you but doom our countrymen to give their lives for a lie.
And they do so gladly. Highborn and lowborn alike are proud to serve, to fight and die for their country. And what would you say to them? What would you tell the wives who have lost their husbands? The mothers who have lost their sons? That their loved ones died for naught? Over the course of 1,000 years, countless men have donned these robes, and every one of them came to accept the necessity of this solution. Once, I hoped you might come to accept it as well. Do not despair, my son. Soon I shall free us from the sins of antiquity, and bring about the change you so fervently desire. If he has spoken with others, I would have their names. Escort him to a cell and question him thoroughly.
Your Eminence.
So, while you're on your way to kill Nidhogg, you stumbled on some dirty secrets that the Holy See has been hiding for centuries.
Eh? What are they on about?
The High Houses. And what makes a nobleman so bleeding noble? They trace their blood back to King Thordan and his Knights 12, the founders of Ishgard. But our friends here reckon we're all descended from the heroes of Eld. Highborn and lowborn alike. And so Sir Emmerich, Lord Commander of the Temple Knights, has gone to ask the Archbishop if he wouldn't mind letting everyone know.
Is he simple? The old bastard will have him executed for heresy.
Well, seems to me that's what the good sir wants. Seems he thinks a noble sacrifice will serve to prove his claims.
We cannot stand idly by and allow Sir Emmerich to do this. Ishgard has need of him.
Look, you've a good heart, I can see that. Willing to risk your neck for someone else even when his troubles ain't yours. But what's this got to do with me?
If Sir Emmerich is imprisoned in the vault, we will need all the help we can muster to breach their defenses and rescue him.
What in the hells?
Ah, the unmistakable scent of heresy. And what do we have here? The honored guests of House Fortom consorting with the Queen of Rats. Ooh, plotting insurrection, I shouldn't wonder. That won't do. Sickness is wont to fester and spread. It must be burnt out ere the infection takes hold.
I reckon Sir'd be happy to wield the irons himself. Well, so happens I've got irons of my own.
Such simple creatures, rats. Certain to attack when cornered. Let us step outside, milady. In here, your toys could hurt someone. There's no denying your gifts. A well-deserved reputation indeed.
Enough! Lucky bastard.
Nay, 'tis we who are lucky. Had we fought on, 'twas but a matter of time before our conflict claimed the life of an innocent bystander.
I thought the Heavens Ward might come here as well.
They came to the Temple Knights' headquarters.
Aye. Sir Grinno announced that the Lord Commander had been imprisoned under suspicion of heresy, and that the Heavens Ward had been granted full authority in his stead.
Then the Heavens Ward now commands the Temple Knights.
Those still loyal to Sir Emeric answer to me. Alas, that amounts to but half our number. The other half, who opposed his promotion to Lord Commander, have gathered at the vault as ordered.
Bolstering the guard already, eh? If I didn't know any better, I'd say you were expected.
I take it you're in charge around here?
Hilda. And yes, the young master was just persuading me to join his lost cause. Convincing little beggar, isn't he? Aye. Your passion moved me. A bit. That, and the fact that we're sick of living off the leavings of our betters. If you've a mind to change things around here, then we've a mind to join you.
Our power! How can this be? Fall back!
Father, please!
We were not too late, my friend!
Why must you do this, Father? Nidhogg is fallen. There is no need for further deception. Now is the time to renounce the lies which led us down this path. To start anew!
And tear down the very pillars of our society? Our history, our values, everything we have built over 1,000 years? A fool to the last.
Look out!
Go. Azizla awaits.
Lord Orchefort!
You You are unharmed? Forgive me. I could not bear the thought of... Oh, do not look at me so. A smile better suits a hero.
Don't. Please. A knight lives to serve, to protect, to sacrifice. There is no greater calling. Leave me to mourn and give chase. For my son, and for the nation he loved. Go!
His sacrifice shall not be forgotten.
My son.
"'Twas an exercise in futility, as you saw. Faced with the firmity of his conviction and his many ready rejoinders, my words deserted me. To be frank, I am embarrassed to recall it.
A friend once impressed upon me the importance of differentiating between words, deeds, and beliefs. Were he here, I suspect he would judge your father's conviction to be no more than rank, self-serving delusion. Even so, I cannot help but wonder what manner of change he intends to bring about.
I have given some thought to that as well. During the battle within the vault, the Heaven's Ward demonstrated strange and unnatural abilities.
Aye, the manner in which Sir Zephyrin struck down Lord Haurchefant was unlike anything I've ever seen before.
The spectacle called to mind King Thordan and his Knights 12 as they are depicted in scripture, holy powers and all.
Mere fabrications, which have become objects of faith, instilled with the belief of countless devoted souls. 7 hells!
If Lady Iceheart can use her own body as a vessel for summoning, I see no reason why others could not.
Are the Heaven's Ward truly so reckless?
Unbelievable!
As they fled, my father spoke of Aziz La. Though I know not what he intends, I fear no good shall come of it. His ambitions are too great, and his minions too powerful. We must find the Heaven's Ward and stop my father before it is too late.
Adolin, all made darkness, light to none, hearken, receiver, blessing, small.
So falls the Lord of Mists, as did all others before him. How many times does this make, warrior of light? Ah, how much you have grown, far beyond the limits of mere mortals.
She has what we seek.
That she does. The key to Azizla and the secrets of Alag. I see you have regained the blessing of light, albeit at a fraction of its former strength.
My thanks to you, Asian. And to you as well, Warrior of Light, for saving us the effort of slaying Bismarck. Now that the key is within our grasp, the path to the heavens shall at last be laid bare. By our deeds shall the wrongs of antiquity be righted, and man reclaim the reins of history.
Warrior of Light, beloved daughter, The light abideth within thy heart again. Full valiantly didst thou overcome thy many trials, but glory not in thy success. For the servants of darkness are ever close at hand. Receive of me my blessing once more, and go forth to shine thy light on all creation.
The champion of Hydaelyn.
Tell me, why do you despise the primals so? They are the embodiment of mortal will, of mortal desire. Plainly, you desire a foe to despise, and 'tis well that you do, for it is from the vortex of ceaseless conflict that Lord Zodiark shall be reborn.
Through the joining, the world shall become whole again. Then all shall be as once it was, as it should ever have remained.
For the glory of Lord Zodiark.
Your meddling ends here and now, warrior of light. That she might regain the blessing of light I had foreseen. But she has grown so strong in it as to deny us our power.
Let us withdraw, La Habrea. That power remains to us, at least.
So, you harnessed the Eye's power. A pity you spent it all. What will you do now, hero?
So, not even the vaunted warrior of light can unmake an Ascian without relying upon mortal contrivances. In the distant past, King Thordan and his Knights 12 fought and defeated Nidhogg. Though the victory cost them dear, they were rewarded with a great prize, the dread worm's eyes, both of which have since been held in the Holy See's safekeeping. The eye you possess was Nidhogg's left. and long has it served as a source of the Azure Dragoon's might. As for its twin, it has lain here, joined to the person of Haldreth, the first Azure Dragoon. For though he learned to harness its power, he was ultimately consumed by it. Even in death, his body decays not. A pitiful end for a fabled hero. My Ascian friend, long have you and your kind sown the seeds of chaos by teaching mortals the secrets of summoning. But if you assumed that we would meekly serve as your pawns, then you are gravely mistaken.
You would raise a hand against us?
By taking unto my flesh the soul of the legendary King Thordan, I can become a god!
Not cessation, whose being is sustained by a millennium of fervent prayer, and the eye's nigh bottomless reservoir of ether.
What?
Your contempt for man has proven your undoing, Ascian. For my first act as God King, I do hereby sentence you to die! Wheresoever the seeds of chaos threaten to quicken, I shall excise them with my divine blade and bring order to the world. I have become that which you abhor, warrior of light. If you would take issue with my godhood, I shall answer you with my blade.
brothers, the time has come to call upon the true power of the Heaven's Ward.
Fight me if you will, warrior of light. I care not. All who stand against me will be destroyed, be they servants of the darkness or the light. By my blessing shall all men be sanctified, and an endless era of peace begin. Vice and conflict shall cease to be. Rejects my divinity. Yet what have you to offer my people in its stead? Bitter truth? Virtuous suffering? No matter. If you believe your cause just, I call upon you to defend it with your life.
How can this be? A millennium of prayer and the Eye's power combined, and still you stand. What are you?
There you are. A noble monument to a noble soul.
From here, Lord Orshafon can watch over all of Ishgard.
It has been a long and arduous journey, and we have lost much and more along the way. Yet come what may, we must stay true to our purpose and press on.
That's right, you two. It's high time we got back to rebuilding the Scions. Which means we're going to need money! And lots of it!